Oh, in Tibetan.
Yes.
Oh, you debate in Tibetan.
No, no, no. I debate in Vietnamese. I just learned. I just, yes.
Okay, otherwise I was ready.
Yes, me can
Welcome
like
anyway.
listener.
Okay, so today we will have some review debates. Yeah, we'll try to debate the samples that I sent on the WhatsApp. Welcome. And yes, it was on the debate practice group, so maybe not everyone had the samples or the exercises, so we will try to check them. And Zingrula tried to debate last time with Palavila, no? On the Monday. It was, we had one debate, I remember. And did you have time to debate another exercise?
Yes, and we had many questions actually. Like the
Good.
meaning about red, is it? And it is red. We spent
Yeah.
quite some time on it.
Ah, yes. Red is it, and it is red. Yeah, we'll try today. Yeah, it's not often debated, but I remember that Venerab Genlo Sel said that maybe in IBD they debated that. Like we are checking what can be red. Red, is that a color? Is that impermanent? Is that existent? So red, is it? It is existent. It is impermanent, and so on. And when we check, it is red, then something has to be red, like the color of a monk's robe is red. Yeah. So that's some kind of debate like this. Welcome, Balavidi.
Oh, Christophe, now you have to repeat this for Palavit. Because I just said we had spent so much time on it is red or red is it, the meaning? And
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, for instance, the color of a red tissue, a red cloth, the color of a red cloth, it is red, yeah. Okay. And can we say that, for instance, the subject red is a color? Yeah, so color is what? Red is it. Red is it. Red is a color. Yeah, so now if you check it is red and red is it, then you have to check. So we will see that maybe later during the class today. Very good. So if it is time, I'm just checking if it is time. Yes, maybe we can start. Okay, so yes, today it's a kind of review, as you said. And we will try to see, okay. Some exercises, yeah. Some you've done, some we've done, yeah, on Monday, last Monday, yeah. Okay, so let's start if you wish, yeah, with the good motivation as usual. Yeah, we can pray Arya Manjushri or Vajrabhairava to help us, but the most important thing is a good motivation and to use our reflection, yeah, our critical mind. That's so important. Yeah? Okay, so it follows that you know the definition of color.
Except
Yes, posit.
what is known to be suitable as a hue.
Yes, that which is suitable as a hue. Yes, it follows that the subject suitable to be a hue is the definition of color.
Except.
Okay, wonderful. So now you know the definition of different from red. If you know the definition of different, you know the definition of different from red, yeah?
Okay, so definition of different is diverse phenomena.
Yes.
Diverse phenomena from a color suitable, hue suitable as red. Is that what it is?
Yes, we could say phenomena which are diverse from red.
Phenomena
Or
diverse.
diverse phenomenon from red, yeah? Yeah, that's the definition of different from red. Yeah, everybody agrees. So of course, yes, when we debate those things, we could ask ourselves, but what is the use of that? Just to train our mind. Then when our mind is a bit more clear about those notions, then we can enter into the Madhyamaka, the Chittamatra, the Swatantrika, Prasangika debates, and so on. Yeah, but for now, it's good to just to sharpen our mind. Yeah. Okay. So it follows you can posit the difference between the two, color and different from red. Among contradictory, equivalent, 3P, 4P.
Between color and different from red?
Yes.
Contradictory.
Contradictory. Horacio. Okay, we will check. Did someone find any common base? Yeah, for Horacio, there is no common base,
Okay,
yeah.
they are between different from
Between
color
color, yes,
color.
different from red and
and
color.
color.
For example, the subject blue.
Ah, the subject blue, it follows it is a common base between color and different from red.
Accept.
Yes, it follows that the subject blue is a color.
Accept.
It is a color because
Because it is suitable to be a hue.
it follows that if it is suitable to be a hue, it's necessarily a color.
Accept.
Very good. So as you see, we double check each point, yeah? So it follows that the subject blue is different from red.
Accept.
It is different from red because
Because it's a diverse phenomena from red.
it follows that if it is a diverse phenomenon from red, it's necessarily different from red.
Accept.
Okay, so everybody agrees that blue is at the same time a color and different from red, yeah? That's easy, no? Yeah, okay. So now we have a common base. Yes, Palavila.
I don't want to digress this because this was a very simple understanding, but what if I said blue sky? Would that have put me in
Blue
trouble?
sky. Blue sky. It follows that the subject blue sky is a color.
No. Okay.
Yeah, it is
Okay,
not.
good.
It is not because
Because sky is sky, blue is the color of the sky.
yes, yes, exactly. Yes, we could have said like an illustration of a common base, the color of a blue sky. Yeah, it is a color and it is different from red. Yeah, very good. Oh, now we discarded one option is contradiction. Yeah, the contradiction is negated. So now we could have equivalent 3P or 4P between color and different from red.
I say 4P.
14, 14. Wow, okay. So let's try. It follows that there's
3P.
3P for Palavila, okay. So Zingrula and Rosiola will try to find some, you can clap your hands. So it follows that you can posit the
No,
yeah.
I'm Team Sigun. I'm Team Sigun. I think it's 4P.
Yes, 4P, yes. So you could find, you could clap your hands, both of you, the challengers, to Palaviji, and say, okay, it follows, you can posit the perversion.
If the for 4P?
No, for 3P. For
No,
4P, there is no
I'm
perversion.
I'm not for 3P.
Exactly. So if there is 3P, if someone finds 3P, we can say, okay, posit the
Different
perversion.
from red.
Well, I think the pervasion for me is that if it is a color, it is necessarily if it is a color, it has to necessarily be, well, I have to say red or different from red because I want to include red. I can't do that, no?
No, you cannot do that. Otherwise, there is no perversion. You just say if it is a color, it's necessarily red or not red, or red or different from red. It doesn't work.
Oh, but and different from red can be anything that is does not need to be a color. Oh, that's why they went
Yes.
for P. Sorry, my brain was slowly processing it.
But you found by yourself. That's very good. Yeah. So
No,
yes,
okay,
if we
just-
say,
okay.
if we said, for instance, yeah, we could find that as an hypothesis. Yeah. It follows that if it is a color, it's necessarily different from red. So it would follow that the subject red is different from red because it is a color. Yeah. So the subject red is not different from red. Yeah?
Okay.
Still, it is a color.
Yeah, it
So
has
it,
to, if
if
it's a
it is a
color, it
color,
has
it's
to
not.
be red or it has to be red or different from red. Like it
Or
has to be
different from red.
within that color.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So if we say red or different from red, then there's no perversion. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. So we found that illustration already. It follows you can posit an illustration of A not B, color, but not different from red.
Red.
Red. Yes. That's the only illustration. We cannot even say dark red. Dark red is different from red, yeah? Okay. Very good. So then we have A and B, like blue. We have a color which is not different from red, so red, yeah. And now it follows you can posit something which is different from red, but not a color.
A table.
Yes, a table. We can even say a red table. It's even more ironic. A red table is not red because it's not a color. Wonderful.
But the
Yes.
color of the red
Yeah.
table is not correct. I mean, is not different from red. The color of a red
Exactly.
table, okay,
Yes.
is one
So
with
we could say that the color of a red table is different from red and is a color. It's a common base.
okay.
Yeah. Very good. Very good. So everybody agrees that table, the subject table, is different from red. Yes, it is different from red because
Because it's not suitable to be called a hue.
wow. Okay. Yes. Okay, so it follows it follows that if it is not suitable to be a hue, it's necessarily different from red. Except
No.
no?
Because if it's different from red, it could be blue. So, you know,
Yes. It could be a table, it could be blue. Yeah, but yeah, so that's why if we say yes, it could be blue. And it could be also a non-existent. Yeah, if it is not suitable to be a hue, it's not necessarily different from red because it could be horned rabbit. Horned rabbit is not different from red. It's not suitable to be a hue, and still it's
because it's not
blue.
diverse phenomena. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
But blue would be
Ah,
a good counterexample as well, yeah. Blue is different from red, but still it is, yes, it has to be suitable to be a hue. Okay, yes. So does everybody agree that the subject table is different from red? Yes, it exists and it is not one with red. Yeah,
But can we say if we had said red table, can we
yeah,
say do we agree that red table is different from red?
exactly.
We will accept that red table is
Yes,
different from red.
exactly. And red table is not a color as well. Yeah?
Is not a color.
Yes, it's not a color because
But you know, if this is where the problem comes in, it is not a color because it is, well, I think it is suitable to be shown as red, right? the color of the table, the red color of the red table is suitable to be shown as red.
Yes, the
But
red color of the table, yeah. But the table
yeah.
itself,
but I said red table, no? I did say
Yeah.
table.
exactly.
So
Yeah. Red table. If
now
you look at the subject, red table is red.
red table is red in color.
The way I see it is like the red table is it is I think it's part of the language. The red table is a table that is like the atoms are red, we could say, but when we distinguish the table from its color, it's the red color of the table. It's like something that we can take out. Oh, this is the red. That's how I
Yeah.
see it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, the red color of a table is a color. Yeah,
Yes.
the red color of a
accept.
table is a color, but the table itself, the red table is not a color.
Okay.
Has color.
I
Yeah.
have a question because you're saying that different from red, we can include non-existent because non-existent is not diverse phenomena. Then what would we pose as the four that is neither?
Yeah. So here, if we say, if we look for something which is different from red, it has to exist. Yeah, because it has to be a phenomenon which is diverse from red. Yeah.
Mm, okay.
Yeah. If we're looking for something which is not different from red,
Okay.
yeah, something
Got
which
it.
is not
Yes.
different from red, if it exists, it is one with red.
Mhm. Or
And
not.
or not, if it doesn't exist, then it is not one with red and it's not different from red either.
But different from
Yeah.
red, because we know that red is a phenomena, don't we all then agree that we are talking about different from red is within existent phenomena? So we cannot bring in non-existent when we're talking about different from red specifically.
Yes, yes, we could say because it belongs to the definition of different. Because we could have something which is different from a non-existent. For
Oh.
instance, the subject red is different from Hondo the rabbit. Yeah,
Okay.
Hondo the rabbit doesn't exist, but red exists and it is not one with Hondo the rabbit, so it is different from Hondo the rabbit. But the way around it's not possible. Yeah, Hondo the rabbit is not different from red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
Wow.
Got it.
Very good. Very good. Fantastic. Wow. So we had something which is both color and different from red, yeah? Blue. Oh, the blue sky the color of a blue sky. Yeah. Okay. So now we have something which is color but not different from red. What is it?
The table.
Color which is not different from red?
Red.
Red. Yes. Then different from red, which is not a color.
Table.
Table. Very good. And now we look for something which is none of them. It is not a color and it is not different from red.
Rabbit's horn.
Yes, rabbit's horn, that's the only thing that we can put here. Because if we put something which exists,
It has to be
then
different.
yeah, it has to be one with red. Because if it exists and it's not different from red, it has to be red. It has to be one with red. But we are looking for something which is not a color. Yeah, so if it is one with red, it's necessarily a color. Yeah, so something which is not a color and not different from red, it's only a non-existent. Yeah, does it work? Kashtele, Jambalexo. Okay, very good. Yeah, everybody agrees we have 4P between color and different from red. 4 possibilities, A and B, A not B, B not A, and not A not B. Yeah, is that okay?
Except, yes.
Okay, very good, very good. Now we have suitable to be a hue and blue. Wow. It follows you can posit the difference between the two. Suitable to be a hue and blue.
3P.
3P for Rosula. Wow.
3P. Yeah.
3P as well. I love you, love.
This is not from logic. This is from memorization.
Okay.
So don't think my brain is working in this way. It's working like no.
Yeah. Okay, because yes, if we are checking with logic, then we have the first job is to check what? What are we
a
looking
common
for?
base. Common
Yes,
base.
the common base, exactly. If we have a common base, they are not contradictory. Yeah, so if we have a common base, that's the most important thing. Yeah. If there is no common base, then they are contradictory. They exist, they are different, and they have no common base, so they are contradictory. But if we find a common base, they are not contradictory. So we discard one answer. Wow. Okay. So now, if we find a common base, they could have only common bases. So they could be equivalent. So that's why we need to check, is there anything which is A but not B? Or is there anything which is B but not A? Then you can see if it is 3P, 4P, or 5, 6P, and so on. Okay. So if you say 3P, then you can posit the perversion.
If it is blue, it is suitable to be a color. But if it is sort of suitable to be a color, it doesn't necessarily has to be blue.
Okay, yes, everybody agrees. So yeah, it's slightly different. It's suitable to be a hue. Yeah, that's the definition of
Color.
color. Yeah, very good. Very good. Sometimes Yonzin Purbuchok gives another definition. Yeah, it's suitable to be shown as a hue. Yeah, it's slightly different, but yeah, sometimes we can use the shortest one. Yeah, that works as well. Suitable to be a hue is the definition of color. Very good. So if it is blue, it's necessarily suitable to be a hue. It's necessarily suitable to be a hue because
blue is something that is suitable to be shown as a hue.
Because blue is a color. Because blue is a color.
Valid.
Exactly. Yes, very good. Yeah, because if we say, technically, if we say in the logic textbooks, they would say it's a non-established reason. If we say the subject blue is suitable to be a hue because it is suitable to be a hue, then we would say it's a madhubetansi. It's a non-established reason because there is no difference at all between two of the elements of the syllogism. Yeah. But if we say, yes, the subject blue is suitable to be a hue because it is a color, that works. There is some difference between the elements of the syllogism, yeah? Yeah, if it follows that if it is a color, it's necessarily suitable to be a hue.
Except,
Are you sure?
yes,
Okay, very good. It is necessarily suitable to be a hue because?
because being suitable to be a hue is the definition of color.
Very good. So it follows that if it is the definition of color, it's necessarily equivalent with color.
Except.
Very good. Yeah, definition. One definition and its definiendum are necessarily equivalent. Yeah, but definition and definiendum are contradictory. Yeah, very good. Wow, fantastic. Okay, so we said 3P.
Say it again.
Yeah?
Say it again. Say it again.
Yes, we can say that one definition and its definiendum, like for instance, suitable to be a hue and color, are necessarily equivalent, but generally speaking, definition and definiendum are contradictory.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, very good.
Generally speaking, when you say generally speaking, are we talking about generality or
Yes.
yeah, so not specific. When we come to specific, it is equivalent, but when we're
Yes.
speaking generality, it is contradictory.
Exactly. That's exactly like this. Yeah, we would say like maybe even in Tibetan, we would say generally chirtangna. They would say generally they are contradictory, but applied to a basis, shila jarna, applied to something very concrete, then they are necessarily equivalent.
And is it because the applied to specific is impermanent phenomena, but when it is as a generality, it is permanent phenomena?
That's not necessarily the case because yes, generally speaking, definition and definiendum are permanent, but you can find also a permanent definition and a permanent definiendum. Like for instance, permanent is a permanent definiendum, and the common base between phenomenon and non-momentary is the definition of permanent, and that definition is also permanent.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
like-
so in that case, both are permanent generalities, no? Definition
Yes.
and definiendum.
Exactly. They are because if we say, for instance, permanent and we could say the short definition, a phenomenon which is not momentary, they are both permanent. Still, they are both generalities and they are both instances as well.
Oh.
Yeah, for instance, permanent is an instance of definiendum. Permanent is an instance of existent, of generally characterized phenomenon and so on. Sorry, not generally characterized phenomenon, it's equivalent with that. But it's an instance of selfless and so on, yeah? And its definition is an instance of definition. It is an instance of existent and so on and so on. And there are generalities because, for instance, uncompounded space is an instance of permanent. So permanent is at the same time an instance and a generality.
Okay.
Yeah, we will see that later.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Okay, we will see that if we compare instance and generality, we have 4P. Wow, incredible. Okay. Okay, very good. So now we had, okay, suitable to be a hue and blue. So if it is blue, it's necessarily suitable to be a hue. But if it is suitable to be a hue, it's not necessarily blue. For instance,
Red.
red, it follows the subject, red is suitable to be a hue.
Accept.
Yes, and it follows that the subject red is not blue.
Accept.
It is not blue because?
Because is not suitable to be shown as blue. It's red.
Yes.
Because red
Yeah,
and blue, red and
that
blue are
works.
contradictory.
Yes. Yes, that works as well. Both answers are perfect. Yeah, if it is not suitable to be a blue hue, it's necessarily not blue. And if it is contradictory with blue, it's necessarily not blue as well. Very good. Yeah, it depends. Yeah, if it is contradictory with blue, it could be blue. Yeah, for instance, the color of a blue sky and the color of a blue cloth. All together, that set is blue. But it's contradictory with blue because there is no common base between the two, so there is no common base between the two and blue. Yeah, so it's blue impossible to be. Okay. Let's drop it, forget it.
Yes, thank
Okay.
you.
If we say yes because it is not suitable to be a blue hue, there is no debate. Yeah, if it is not suitable to be a blue hue, it's necessarily not blue. Yeah, okay. If we discard the definition, we discard the definiendum. Very good. Okay, so if we say 3P, then you need to posit something which is none of them, which is not suitable to be a hue, and it is not blue.
The table.
Table, even a blue table.
Even blue table.
The blue table, it follows it is not blue.
Accept.
It follows it is green.
Is the blue table and green are contradictory?
Yes, and even the blue table and blue are contradictory. Yeah.
But the blue color of the table, it's blue.
Yes, exactly. So
It
the blue
wouldn't
table
work.
of the table cannot be an illustration of that which is not A, not B. Yeah? We have to give an illustration of something which is not blue. Yeah? Even the blue table is not blue. Yeah? Everybody agrees? The blue table has the color blue, but the blue table is not the color blue.
But the blue color of the table wouldn't work because it's blue.
Exactly, it's a common base between blue and suitable as a blue hue, as a hue, suitable to be a hue. Wow, fantastic. So we
I'm
have
sorry, but when you said it blue table, it follows blue table is green. Why would, like, how would we refute that in a debate format?
So yes, so you could say why, then I could say, okay, I could give a reason. It follows that the subject blue table is green because it is not blue. Then you would say no perversion. It's not because it is not blue that it has to be green.
Can you repeat that again? If
So I would say, for instance, it follows that the subject blue table is green. So you would say why? Because you don't agree. Yeah. So I could give a reason. I could say, yes, it follows that the subject blue table is green because it is not blue.
No perversion.
okay,
No
so because
perversion.
it is
It's not because it is not blue that it has to be green. Yeah.
But blue table, so if we talk about this, is you've given blue table is green because it is not blue. And you're saying we said we should talk about no provision, but first we should argue the reason, right? And the reason
Yes,
is because
exactly.
it is not blue. But shouldn't it
Yes.
be no reason established?
So here the reason has to be established because the table itself is not a color. So if it is not a color, it cannot be blue.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you
the reason is
establish the
established,
reason.
but the reason, even if it is established, doesn't imply or is not pervaded by the predicate. Doesn't imply entail the predicate. Yeah. Because if we say no perversion, implicitly we say that the reason is established. Yeah, that's the first step to check a syllogism. Is the reason established with regard to the subject? Yeah, if it is established, then we can check the perversion. But if it is not established, then we have the answer. Reason is not established. Yeah.
So when we say if I had gone down the path reason is not established, it is not blue, it would be because I fell for the color of the table. I'm thinking color of the table. I did not stick to the table.
Yes.
I
Very
got
good.
mistaken. Is
Yes.
that
So yes, maybe that's the point. Yeah. But even if we choose as the subject the color of the table, if we say it follows that the subject the color of a table is green because it is not blue.
color of the table is green because it is not blue is no pervasion again because no?
Perversion, and also the reason is not established because when we say
Yeah,
table, the
right.
color of the table in general is not necessarily blue. Yeah, so the reason is not established.
No, but would I say no pervasion or would I say no reason established?
So the reason is not established and there is no perversion.
Yeah, so but
if we
what
say,
happens?
if we say yes, if we say no perversion, it means that the reason is established. So in the case of the reason were to be established, then there would be no perversion. It's not because it's not blue that it has to be green. Yes, but first, the reason is not established because the color of the table in general is not blue.
Yeah.
It's the general color of a general table. So we cannot even say, we could say that the color of a blue table is blue, but the color of table, is it blue, green, red? It's
And
none
in a
of them.
in a three-part syllogism, we first go for the reason and then the privation.
Yes, very good, exactly. Yes, we need to check the property of the subject, yeah? Yeah, is the reason ascertained by valid cognition as only existing with the faultless subject of inquiry. That's the definition of the property of the subject, yeah? Yes, in according with the mode of assertion, yeah? Okay, so yes, we have to check if the reason is established with regard to the subject. Yeah, does the reason exist exclusively with the subject?
Okay.
Yeah, very good. So is, for instance, if we say the subject table is not green because it is blue. If we say, for instance, it follows that the subject table is not green because it is blue. Is that a good syllogism? It follows that the subject table is not green because it is blue.
No reason.
Yeah, There is a reason, but it's a fake reason. Yeah? The reason is not established. Yeah, the table is not blue.
I wanted to say it's not, there is no reason because table is table is not blue. Table is not suitable to be shown as a color.
Exactly. Yeah. So there, it's a reason. I give a reason, but the reason is not established. Yeah, it is not.
With
not
regard to the
property of
subject. It
Exactly.
always has to be exclusive to specifically the subject in that sentence.
Exactly.
I have to
Always.
keep checking. Okay.
Always. Yeah, the property of the subject. Yeah, chokchö in Tibetan. It is the property of the subject. Yeah, it has to be. The relationship is necessarily between the reason and the subject. And if it is established, then we have to check the relationship between the reason and the predicate.
Got it.
Yeah, very good. Wow.
But the syllogism, just to compare, the color of the table is not the color green because it's the color blue. There, the reason is established, but there's
Yes.
no privation because it could be any other color. Is that correct?
If we say the color of the table is not green because it's blue,
The color of the table is not the color of the table is not the color green because it is the color blue.
then the reason is established and there is perversion. If it is blue, it's necessarily not green.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. The way around would be no perversion. If we say it follows that the subject, the color of the table is green because it is not blue.
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it does mean we can choose any color like red and white.
Yes, exactly. Because if we say it is not blue, we could say yes, the color of the table, the color of the table, okay, is not blue. Even in that case, the reason is not established because as we said, the color of a table is none of the colors that we have in mind. Yeah? If we say, but if you have a shop, for instance, you are in a shop and that shop sells only blue, the table which have the color blue. Then in that case, you could say, okay, in that shop, it follows that the subject, the color of a table is
Blue.
Blue. It's blue.
yes, is not green because it is blue. Yeah, there is the perversion and so on. But if we say is green because it is not blue, then the reason is not established because all the tables in this supermarket have necessarily the color blue. No.
Yeah.
Yes, if that shop sells only tables which have the color blue. Yeah. Okay. Strange conversations, no? Okay. Very good. So if we say if we compare suitable to be you and blue, okay, we have 3P, yeah? Everybody agrees? Okay, very good. Very good. So now something more tricky. Different from red and non-red. Oh, different from red and non-red. Contrary to the equivalent 3P, 4P, you have 2 hours.
Well, I would say, correct me if I'm wrong. I would say equivalent, but then you have said before that even if, something is nominally different, then it's different.
Yes, exactly.
Table and something with a top and legs and there's the definition of table, even when they're equivalent because they're the same definition, to the mind they're different. Am I correct?
Yes, if you say, for instance, hot and
Hot
burning.
and
Yes, hot and burning and fire. Hot and burning and fire, they are different.
but are
But
they
they are
equivalent?
equivalent. Yeah, exactly.
They're
In order to
equivalent,
make-
but they're different.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
We could say because they are equivalent, they have to be different. Yeah, because the definition of equivalent is
That there's only common basis. So different from red is
yes, we could say
everything that
yes. The
is
meaning of
not
equivalent
red.
is that they have only
Not
common base.
red.
The definition of equivalent is different and share the 8 doors of perversion. They are
I think
different and share the 8 doors of perversion. That's the definition of different of equivalent.
Different from red and non-red are equivalent
Equivalent. Okay.
because different from red is diverse phenomena from red, which is, you know, in parentheses, my words, everything that is not red.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then
So it follows that
not
the subject. It follows that the subject dark red is non-red because it is different from red.
yeah, dark red is not different, is not red, is dark
It
red.
follows that the subject dark red is not red, it is blue. It follows that the subject dark red is not an instance of red.
Okay.
You accept the subject. The subject.
No, no, I don't accept. You're right.
the sub-
You're always. So okay, then let's
power
check a
function.
common base. You said let's check a common
I will
base.
try another illustration. It follows that the subject, the red color of a red table, the subject, the color of a red table is non-red because it is different from red. The subject, the color of a red table. It follows that the subject, the color of a red table is not red because it's different from red. And you accepted the perversion that if it is different from red, it has to be non-red.
No, no. The reason is established because the color of the red table,
Is red.
it's no. You said you said the color of the red table is not red because it's different from red.
Ah, yes. So, no perversion.
Because the color of the red
Red.
table.
Is red.
No, you said because it's different from red. Color
Yes.
of red table is not
Yes.
red because it's different from red. So then if the reason is established, it means that the color of the red table is different from red.
Accept.
Oh, yes. No, I don't have, no, because
You
you have
don't.
said before, no, because you said before that the color of the red table is red. As it could,
Accept.
dark red is red, color of the red table is red.
Yes, accept.
Mhm.
Accept. So if we say, for instance, okay, it
So
follows that
there,
the sub yeah.
Go
It
ahead.
follows that the subject, the color of a red table is red. Accept.
Mhm.
It follows that the subject, the color of a red table is one with red.
No.
No, only red in the universe is one with red. The color of a red table is red, but it's
Yes.
different from red.
But then how come dark red is an
Yeah,
instant?
yeah, I would say dark red, the subject dark red is red.
The color red in the table is red.
Yeah, so yeah, those are two illustrations. Yeah, you have dark red, which is different from red, and it is red. It is red within being different from red, and the color of a red table as well is different from red, and it is red. Yeah, because it's the color of a red fruit.
Oh, okay. They're the same but different.
There are instances of red. If there are instances of red, they are necessarily different from red.
But
No?
you just established that the color of the red table is red.
Accept.
The color of the red table is not one with red.
It is not one with red.
Why?
Because only red is one with red. Only red is conceptually one with red.
Yes,
the
but the color of the table is red. The subject we're talking about is the color of the table, which is red. So red is one with red.
Yes, it is red within being different from red because it is an instance of red. You have the red color of a cloth, red color of a fruit, red color of a table. They are instances of the generality red. So if they are instances of that generality, they are not one with that generality. They are different from that generality. Otherwise, everything that is red has to be the color of a red table. It follows that the subject, the red color of a red fruit is the color of a table because the color of a red table is one with red. If we say if it is one with red, it follows that any red has to be red, has to be the color of a red table.
Okay, so just to clarify, so dark red is not red.
It's not red, it's blue.
No. But it's because when you say different from red, I'm gonna go back. You said different from red and not red.
Yes.
And then you said
If we
that
say that they are equivalent, then my counter example would be dark red. If we say that both are equivalent, yeah, different from red and non-red, then I would give a consequence. I would say it follows that the subject dark red is not red because it is different from red.
so then that means that the common base is dark red.
Yeah,
Is
no,
that-
the common base the common base between different from red and not red would be table or blue. Yeah. So they have common bases, but it doesn't mean that they have only common bases, yeah, different from red and non-red. Yeah, for instance, dark red is different from red, but it is not non-red because it is red. Am I going too quick? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm stuck on the previous one.
Yeah,
Because
okay.
we're not even talking about dark red or light red or anything. We were talking about red. We established that the color of the table is red.
Yes, the color of a red table, yeah?
The color of a red table is red.
Yes.
It is one with red.
Really?
No, you're saying the color of the table is not one with red because it is an
Yeah.
instance, and an instance
Yes.
cannot be one with the generality.
Very good,
But
yes.
no, I don't accept though.
Okay.
I want to understand why.
Yeah.
Because if it is not, if red is not one with red, then what is the one with red?
Yeah, red is one with red.
We established that the color of the red table is red.
Yes, okay. Yes,
And
but
that
is
red
it one with red?
instance,
Is it one with red? Is the color of a red table one with red?
the red color of the red table should be one with red, no?
So it follows that red itself is not one with red.
Is red a color?
Accept?
Then red color should be one with red.
Yes, red is one with red. So can you find something which is one with itself and another thing which with one with it? Yeah. If we say, for instance, red is the only thing in the universe that is one with red. So the red color of a table is red, but it is not one with red.
But
You remember, for instance,
every red color in the universe should be one with red.
it's one entity with red, but it is not one with red. It's different from red.
We are not talking about the entities that are red. We are talking about the redness of the entities.
For instance, do you remember the meaning of one with red? The definition?
not different from red.
A phenomenon which is not different from red. So it's not
But is red
different.
a phenomenon?
Yes, accept because it's observed by valid cognition. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if red is mixed with a table, can we define that the redness to be one phenomenon and the table to be another phenomenon?
We could say that the redness of a table is not redness itself. It's a redness of a table. So it's different from redness.
Oh, because
you-
it got attached. So in this philosophy now, we are saying suddenly because red has got attached to another entity, now the red belongs to the entity. It is not belonging to the generality anymore.
It belongs to the red general. It is one entity with red and one entity with the table. The red color of a table is one entity with red and one entity with the table as well.
But why did it get separated from the generality? We defined.
Yes, it is not separated from the generality. It's just different from the generality. It's not separated. Separated means different entities. No?
I mean, yes, because you said red is table now, and it got attached to the table.
Let's
And-
take something which is very, very concrete. Yeah, the color of my cup. Yeah, the color of my cup. It follows that the subject, the color of my cup are one entity. The color of my cup and the cup are one entity. They are one entity because
it's observed as one thing.
yes, because for the direct perception, they are not they don't appear separately.
Yeah.
They don't appear separately. If you point toward the color of the cup, you need to point toward the cup. And if you point toward the cup, you need to point toward the color of the cup. So it's the same object in one sense. It's one entity, one nature. Yeah, but still it's conceptually distinct. We can say the color of the cup. Yeah. Okay. So let's say that the color of my cup is gray. Yeah. Okay. That's the gray color of a cup. The gray color of a cup is not one with gray. It is one entity with gray, but it is different from gray. Because only gray is one with gray. The gray color of a cup is different from gray. And it is gray. It is gray, and it is different from gray.
Okay. Mike, can you tell me, is my glass, I don't know if you can see it.
Yes.
Is my glass red?
Your glass cannot be red because your glass is not a color.
You can see red in the color of this glass.
No, but then what he's saying is that the glass is not a color, but the color of the glass that you put in front of the red book, that color of that glass is
red.
red.
So the color that got attached to the cup is the color gray. The cup is not gray.
Exactly, because the cup is not a color.
So then the generality gray belongs to the color gray belongs to the generality gray, is not attached to the instance of the entity of the gray cup.
So if we accept that, then it would mean that for the eye perception, direct perception, the color of the cup, which is gray, and the cup would appear separately, but they don't appear separately. So that's why they are one entity.
Like without the logic and the reasoning, let's say this is the way I see it. We have gray, gray that is not a thing, it's just the concept gray that is shown as hue, and then we have the gray of the cup. Okay, if we take the gray of the cup, which is still the gray of the cup, but it's different from the cup because it's not the cup, we take it, this gray of the cup, not the cup, is gray and is the gray of the cup.
Yes.
But we cannot take it away, physically, conceptually, because it's already attached to the cup, and it will never be a gray. There will never be a gray, the gray color of this cup if this cup goes away.
No, but
Yes.
So that way, this color of the cup, of this cup, it's gray. We cannot say it's not gray. And it's at the same time different from gray. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it's at the same time different from gray because gray is a hue, suitable to be called gray. But this one is, yes, suitable to be a gray, but it's not a hue, it's of the cup. Is that correct? Am I following
Yes. That's fantastic, Rosiola. Thank you very much. You can give a review class on Mondays. Very good. We could say another illustration. This one is very good, really. Yeah. We could give another illustration. Do you remember that we said that the one definition and its definiendum are necessarily different? Okay, so if we say, for instance, suitable to be a gray hue, is it different from gray?
No, it is not different from gray.
It's not different from gray, so the definition and its definiendum are not different anymore.
Okay, so conceptually, yes,
They are
they're different.
Yes, conceptually. The difference is more conceptual.
Because in my mouth, when I say gray, I don't say, you know, suitable to be a hue.
Exactly. That's
I
why
don't say it. I
the
say it
express
differently.
yes, that's why the terms are engaging through exclusion as well, like the concepts. The concepts and the terms are engaging their objects through exclusion. So if we say gray, we don't say gray color of a cup, we just say gray. So that's why gray and gray color of a cup are different. And gray and suitable to be a gray hue are different because they are conceptually different.
And
They are
nominally different.
nominally different. From the subject, they are different. Not from the object, yeah? Yeah, from the side of the object, you just have gray and the cup, a gray cup. Yes, you just have one nature, one entity. But you can conceptually distinguish the color of the cup, the shape of the cup and the cup, the color of the cup and the cup. So they are
So-
conceptually distinct. So they are different.
So we can say that all this, like suitable to be a gray hue and gray, and all this different or not different, this and that, is because of the human power of conception and of conceptualization. For a bird, this doesn't happen, but because of
Yes.
our power of conception, we can see it different.
Exactly. Exactly. That's why we are able to say that the cup and the emptiness of the cup are one entity, but they are still different. They are even contradictory. An emptiness is never a cup. A cup cannot be an emptiness. But when we say form is empty, emptiness is form, it means they are one entity.
Exactly.
No?
Yes. Yes.
Very good. So we can say the same. Gray and the gray color of a cup are one entity. Gray and the gray color of a cup are one entity.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So we can say that gray and a cup can be one entity.
Gray and a cup can be one entity.
Like for
Yes, I'm
instance,
looking at it, one entity. Yeah.
existent and cup are one entity. Because you have a cup which is existent.
Except, yeah.
Okay, very good. Fantastic. So we
But
can
the-
say,
Is it not belonging to the existent generality?
yes, it is an instance of the generality existence. So if it is an instance of a generality, it has to be different from that generality. If it is one with that generality, it's not an instance of that generality, it's just that generality itself. If we say one with existent, the cup is not one with existent, it's different from existent. Still, it exists, so it is existent within being different from existent, no?
I will come back.
Conceptually,
I will come back. I have
it
to
is
think.
what?
I
Okay.
have to think more.
Okay, very good. I think Tara missed the change of the time, no? No problem. No problem. We are on the second exercise, checking three possibilities between color and suitable to be a hue and blue. Suitable to
No,
be a
we
hue.
finished that. We finished
Oh, we
that.
finished that. Ah,
Yeah.
sorry.
We are
Sorry.
Number 4, red is needed.
Yes. Different from color. What was it? Sorry.
Call different from red and non-red.
Ah, yes, very good. Different from red and non-red. Different from red and non-red. I think Maria as well missed the change of the time. Of the
Different
clock.
from red.
Okay, welcome. So we are checking different from red and non-red. It follows you can posit the definition of different from red.
Diverse phenomena from red.
Yes, a phenomenon which is diverse from red, yeah? Okay, very good, very good. So let's imagine that a defender would say they are equivalent, different from red and non-red. Yeah, so it follows that if it is different from red, it's necessarily not red.
That was my answer, and
Yeah.
you said it was not. Because then
So
you
for
said
instance,
the dark red.
yes, for
I said
instance,
they were equivalent, and you said no, because then dark red is, would be a illustration of different from red.
of
And then you
non-red.
said
It
of
is
non-red.
different from red. Yeah, we could say, for instance, suitable to be a red hue. Is suitable to be a red hue different from red?
No.
So it is one with red. It follows it is one with red. Oh, it follows that suitable to be a hue is one with just red, one name.
Mm-mm.
Five words. Five, is it equal with one?
No.
Five aggregates equal with one person?
No.
No, so five words are not equal with one. Suitable to be a red hue are six words, sorry. Suitable to be a red hue, six words. Yeah, it
Wait,
cannot be
but
one.
the definition of red is suitable
Mhm.
to be a red hue.
Exactly. And we concluded just before that the one definition and its definiendum are equivalent. So if they are equivalent, they have to be different.
Okay.
Because the definition of equivalent is different and share the the eight doors of pervasion. Yeah.
Okay.
So one definition and its definiendum are equivalent. So if they are equivalent, they have to be different. So suitable to be a red hue is different from red. So it follows it is not red because it is different from red, and we said different from red is equivalent with non-red. Aha, yes, Maria.
Can we also say that the one is concept and the other is perception?
So we tend to think that because in the West, when we said definition, it's a kind of sentence written in a dictionary. But here in the Tibetan tradition, in the tradition of Nalanda, a definition is the set of the characteristics itself. Like when we say hot and burning, it's the definition of fire. So when we when our hand is close to fire, we feel hot and burning. So it's not just a sentence in a dictionary. It's the very phenomenon itself through its characteristics.
So they are both perceptions, they are not concepts.
It depends. If we speak about impermanent phenomena, yes. If we think about like for instance, we had before permanent and a phenomenon which is not momentary. Permanent is a definiendum, and a phenomenon which is not momentary is a definition. Both are permanent.
Okay, but in this
Yeah.
case, okay, sorry, I tend to take too much time. But in this case, they are both impermanent, right? Non-red and so different than red are impermanent. So in that respect, they are perception, both of them.
Non-red is necessarily permanent, and different from red is necessarily permanent. But if it is different from red, it's not necessarily permanent. And if it is non-red, it's not necessarily permanent either.
Exactly.
So,
Okay, so I said the
yes,
opposite.
very good.
Yeah, okay.
Wow, fantastic. Yes.
So
So
if
like,
this
you
is
remember when we said in Hindi, Januar is neutral or masculine? I don't remember. In Hindi, Januar, is it neutral?
Masculine.
Masculine, thank you. Januar in Hindi means animal. Yeah, it is masculine, Januar. But if it is Januar, it's not necessarily masculine. It can be like, can you find a feminine word for an animal in Hindi?
Billy. Billy is a cat. Billy.
Billy is feminine. Yeah, still it is a Januar, it is an animal. So animal is masculine, but if it is animal, it's not necessarily masculine. Yeah, different from red is permanent, but if it is different from red, it's not necessarily permanent. Yeah, very good. Okay.
so different from red and non-red is that it is 4P because you say that the common base, because this is my reasoning. So different from red is a phenomenon.
Yes.
Different from red is a phenomena that is diverse from red.
Yes.
And non-red is a phenomena that is, not suitable to be shown as a red hue.
So it's the issue is that non-red is not necessarily a phenomenon. That's the issue. That's the trick.
Oh, non-red can be a non-existent?
Like for instance, is horned rabbit red or not red?
No,
Yeah, it's
it's
not
not.
red.
But,
Ah,
but then didn't you
different.
say?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
different from red. So yes, I said previously, non-red is permanent because that generality includes non-existent phenomena, non-existent, and also some phenomena which are impermanent and some phenomena which are permanent. So it means that the generality itself exists and is permanent. But if it is a member of that generality, it's not necessarily existent. For instance, is a
But
table red or non?
if we compare, this is why, you know, I need to clear this out
Yeah.
so I understand. Because if it is not red, I thought that we could not compare non-existence because they're not diverse phenomena. So in my
Mhm.
mind, I never compare non-red to non-existence, because to me, non-existence, they cannot be compared because they're not diverse phenomena. But in this case of non-red, you're saying that this non-red, we're never saying that non-red is a phenomenon.
Yes, non-red itself is a phenomenon, is a
Uh-huh.
permanent phenomenon. But if it is non-red, it's not necessarily existent.
Okay.
Like Januar and Billy.
But non-table would be
Non-table,
the
for instance,
would be the
that's the same.
same.
Exactly. For instance,
No.
I'm a non-table and I exist. I hope I'm a non-table.
Uh-huh.
Horned rabbit is a non-table as well.
Okay.
Very
Christophe,
good.
I don't understand this. How would you establish that horn of a rabbit, I mean, you cannot establish that it's red, but you can also not establish that it's not red.
Yeah,
You cannot
because
establish that is not different from red.
yeah,
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is
How
As
would you?
yes, but like you know, that's the law of no contradiction. That's so important. If you read, for instance, one very good book from Thupten Jinpa, Self, Reality, and Reason. Unfortunately, it's not published anymore, but if you have some book in your library, Self, Reality, and Reason. Yeah, that's compared study of Lama Tsongkhapa's Madhyamaka philosophy. And he says at some point that we have to accept the logic and the logic of non-contradiction. Either it is A or it is non-A. It cannot be both. And it cannot be neither. Because if it is neither non-A and A, it has to be A. Because something which is not A has to be A. So it has to be A or non-A. And because a horned rabbit is not red, it is non-red.
Can I ask?
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead, Sigruna.
Yeah, but then, you know, if you establish red, you at the same time also establish that something is not red. And then how
Yes.
would you establish for rabbit's horn, you cannot have a valid cognition that would establish
Yeah, it's
not red.
it can be an inferential valid cognition, which is using one of the three kinds of valid reasons. Yeah, the valid reason of non-observation. Yeah, because horned rabbit doesn't exist, it is not observed by valid cognition, so it cannot be observed by valid cognition as being red.
And then if horn of the rabbit is, what is it? Is it permanent or impermanent?
It's none of them.
but
Because permanent has to exist and impermanent has to exist. If it doesn't exist, it cannot be permanent or impermanent. It's none of them.
but then it would be not permanent.
Yes, accept.
But if it's not permanent, then if not permanent appears to the consciousness, then also impermanent appears.
Really?
Yeah, no?
If it appears to your thought consciousness a phenomenon which is not permanent, yes, impermanent has to be realized as well. Yeah, so you explicitly realize a phenomenon which is not permanent, and implicitly you realize impermanent. But if you don't add phenomenon, it can be just non-existent. If it is not permanent, it's not necessarily impermanent. It can be just hormodrabit. Like
Okay,
for
to think
instance,
about it.
that famous reasoning, you know, one and different. That's why we study one and different here, because for your Madhyamaka studies, that's very, very important. Yeah, like in the Acharya Chandrakirti's text and so on, and Arya Nagarjuna's text, you find that is the person one or different from the aggregates? Inherently one or inherently one different from the aggregates. If it is neither inherently one or inherently different from the aggregates, it doesn't exist at all. Because if it is not one and not different, it doesn't exist. That's just so precious. Yeah. Please.
Go ahead, Maria. My questions are unending.
Yeah, I have actually two questions. One is, I don't know about this book, if it helps, The Case Against Reality. It's from Donald Hoffman. It's also very much supported by Deepak Chopra and other ones. I don't know if you know it, Christoph.
No.
Then I don't. If you don't know it, I would not recommend to the team. But it was recommended to me by you know, a monk, a Theravada
Yes.
monk. So
Okay. Yes, for maybe for reality. Yes, if you can study Recognizing Reality from Geshe Dreyfus, that's just a treasury. Yes, for the epistemology, psychology, and so on, Recognizing Reality. Or you can find also, for instance, yeah, on reality for the Madhyamaka, there are so many good books. Ah,
no, this is against reality,
instance,
actually.
for instance, yes, yeah, against inherent reality. For
Yeah, the
instance,
case against, yeah.
how to see yourself as you really are from His
Yeah.
Holiness the Dalai Lama. How to see yourself as you really are. Just fantastic. Yeah, you have so beautiful books like this. Then they have authority on what is the Madhyamaka, what is reality, and because now, yeah, there are so many books.
Okay, good. No, that's why I was very careful before I proposed. And the other about the rabbit hole and so on, what I learned, for example, we are very often using, for example, the unicorn, the blue unicorn and so on. But this is used by symbol. For example, in Scotland, the unicorn is the national symbol. And it's
Okay.
used in many. So in that, then we go to a different level of perception then.
Mm.
And, you know, what is not real, it's not as a inherent phenomenon is not real, but as a inherent, implicit phenomenon, it is real.
Okay.
So again, sorry, but this is
Yes, for the Sotrantika, here we are delving into the Sotrantika. If it exists, it has to exist inherently. Yes, that's the the stepping stone in Buddhist philosophy. Only the Prasangika would refute inherent existence. Yeah, even the Swatantrika Madhyamaka would accept inherent existence on the conventional level, not on the ultimate level, but on the conventional level. Only the Prasangika would refute inherent existence even on the conventional level. So that's why it's very special. Otherwise, here in the Sotrantika, if it exists, it has to exist inherently. If it doesn't exist inherently, it means it doesn't exist at all for the Sotrantika. Yeah.
okay. Thanks. And I'm sorry.
pleasure.
Yes, go ahead. Sorry.
My pleasure.
I love you.
Yeah, no, thank you, because that helps me land somewhere. For Sautantrika, we are saying if it exists, it inherently exists in
Yes.
this world. So then existence and non-existence, if we have to talk about something that's non-existent, we have to talk about something that does not inherently exist in Sautantrika.
Exactly.
Okay, so but who establishes whether or not it is inherently existent or not inherently existent? When in this case, in the case of let's say Harry Potter, is somebody has made up this, you know, I could have written this book and I would have become this great authority of creating an inherent existence of Harry Potter, which is world renowned, translated into many languages. Now, I will give Harry Potter the power to fly if he chants this mantra. Now, everybody has to accept it because I created it. It is inherently existent, no?
The book and the literature are inherently
Harry
existent.
Potter will never exist.
But so the books and the stories and the, so it's how you define Harry Potter. Is it the book? Is it the story? Is it, those are inherently existent because people have actually read them, saw the films and so
But
on.
with valid cognition, you will never find the Harry Potter character.
The character, that's what I said, the character is not, but
I
the
created
story,
it inherently.
The concept.
that's
So
why
go ahead,
that's where I'm
Christophe.
struggling between conceptual and perceptual.
Yeah,
I need to
that's why-
understand the concept
that's
and the
why-
Can you help
perception.
us?
That's why we need to have some common agreement about what means to exist. That's why we study the Sotrantika, yeah? Observe by valid cognition. Yeah, that's very important. What is valid cognition? Can it be direct, inferential, and so on? But inherently existent, yeah, what does it mean? Yeah, so that's why it's not always very sure, you know. In the Sotrantika, they would say, for instance, an ultimate truth for the Sotrantika. Yeah, they would say it's ultimately able to perform function. Yeah? Dondam bar donjen upeche, a phenomenon which is ultimately able to perform function. Ultimately, from its own side.
So
That's what it
Daniel
means.
Radcliffe is the actor who is Harry Potter. If somebody didn't know and had watched the movie and seen Daniel Radcliffe, he would say, "Oh, Harry Potter has come to my house. Oh, he's sitting and having tea, and he is going to like inherently. Haven't I now created Harry Potter who's sitting in your house?"
Would it be a valid cognition?
To the person who is looking at Harry Potter, read the book, looked at the picture, and looking at him, of course it is a valid cognition.
Yes, but for someone who has a wrong cognition, that person can believe she or he has a valid cognition.
Who establishes valid cognition then?
Exactly, that's the point. Yeah, that's the point. What is valid cognition? It has to be a cognition which is, for the Sotrantika, free and we say uncontrovertible or incontrovertible. I don't remember.
Incontrovertible, same thing.
Incontrovertible, thank you. Yeah, incontrovertible, yeah. Incontrovertible, that's very important. Yeah. That's why, you know, Acharya Dharmakirti would say, Tsema lume chensheba, dunje nubar nebani, tsema lume chensheba. It has to be a cognition which is incontrovertible. Yeah, it is ascertaining its object, it's realizing its object. Yeah, so that's why we find different definitions. Yeah, like in recognizing reality, you find plenty reasons, yeah, why a valid cognition has to realize its object, has to cut superimpositions. But to believe that Daniel Radcliffe is Harry Potter is a superimposition.
I agree, but the book, so it's the same
book
like
itself
any
exists.
book. The
The
book
book
exists. The
yeah,
story
the book
exists, the
exists.
film exists.
We can say that Harry Potter as a cultural event exists, like Santa Claus.
Mhm.
As a cultural event, it exists like this, but
Right.
not as a person who eats, sleeps, play magic, and so on. Yeah?
So the concept of
Exactly. That's why we
exist.
say,
Mhm.
yes. Like Yonzin Purbuchok would say, Ranzin tope zintang yiyu yina, zintang yiyu yimbe makyap. Or tope zintang yiyu yimbe makyap. If it is the object of the mode of apprehension of a thought consciousness, apprehending it, it's not necessarily the object of the mode of apprehension of a thought consciousness. It means if it exists only in the imagination, it doesn't exist.
So, if you watch a spy movie and there are, what do they call these distractors to protect the president? You have like a fake person who looks like the president. So it exists.
Yes.
Looks exactly like the president. Everything is there. Now, but it's not the
everything.
president.
Not everything, because it's not a real bodyguard. That's the distinction. Even in the Prasangika, we can accept the distinction between real and fake in one sense. Otherwise, the Prasangika could not know if you have a proper note or a fake note. The Prasangika are much cleverer than us. So they can make the distinction between a fake note and a note, and a real note. Yeah, but that distinction would be made according to the worldly perspective, not according to the ultimate one. Yeah, so they are able to see a fake bodyguard and a real bodyguard in one sense, not real, like inherently real, but like a conventionally real.
Oh, they will. So Prasangika will say this is conventionally real or
Yeah.
fake, but ultimately both of them are fake.
Yes, otherwise the Prasangika could not make the distinction between a rope and a snake.
And snake.
But
But
still, the
in South
Prasangika, like
Tantrika,
Ariana Garchuna, they are so clever, so they are able to distinguish a rope, which appears as a snake and a snake. Yeah, there is a difference. So
in
this
South
difference would
Tantrika,
be,
would they look at the snake or no?
in the Soul Tantrika, they would accept also the difference between a rope and a snake, a rope which appears as a snake and a snake. They are all able to do so. Buddhist people are so clever.
No, would the South Tantrika not see the snake? They would see the snake.
So if it is a snake and they see a snake, they would say it's a valid cognition apprehending a snake. If there is the clear appearance of a non-existent, then they would say it's a wrong cognition, a wrong non-conceptual cognition.
South Tantrika would say it's the wrong
Yeah.
cognition. So if Daniel Radcliffe walked into their house, they would say wrong cognition of Harry Potter. You are you are playing this character.
Yes, exactly.
They would say that
I
because
hope so.
even though okay.
I hope so.
Okay,
So
they're
yeah,
establishing wrong cognition versus right cognition in South Tantrika.
everybody does that. All the Buddhist tenets, they have to do so. Because according to Buddhism, it's knowledge that allows nirvana and Buddhahood. It's not mere belief or just faith, blind faith, and so on. We have to know reality as it is. So, of course, in the Soul Trantika, it's not the final answer, but it's a kind of stepping stone in order to go to the Chittamatra and Madhyamaka. Yeah? We have to keep that perspective. Yeah.
Okay.
Very good. But still, we need to stay clear within a tenet. Otherwise, we could mix things, and sometimes it could be more dangerous. Yeah. Yes, Maria.
But on the path from establishing reality in emptiness, cognition and perception change both. Not only perception, perception is, how you perceive the object, empty or not, phenomenon or person, empty or not, but also the concept, because when you, the concept is, how you define the definition, sorry, the concept is the definition, sorry, the perception is the definition. So also the concept changes as you go from how you see currently reality, whether this is, Red, how you call this, Radcliffe, Daniel Radcliffe, or if you see that this is one in, it's me, for example. In the end, you are part of, everything belonging to one, and you are me and me are you. Again, right? I mean, I'm overstretching now, but with time, you lose the phenomenon of actor, you lose the phenomenon of whatever characteristic, young, whatever, and you see only the inherent gold, the Buddha within. So in that
Yeah.
respect, also not only the perception but also the concept changes.
Yes, so yeah, we could say that except in one of Lenny Kravitz's songs, I am not you and you are not me. Yes, in a beautiful song from Lenny Kravitz, yeah, he says, I am you and you are me. But
Yes.
According to Buddhist philosophy, we are both contradictory. We are very similar. We belong to the same category of sentient being,
But
or we could say like becoming enlightened. I hope so. Like all sentient beings, they have that Buddha nature and they need to become enlightened in order to be really happy. So we belong to that category. We are very similar in that sense, but we are still contradictory. Like a cup, chair, table, they belong to the same category of impermanent, but still they are mutually contradictory.
True, but belong to the same thing. That's what I mean. To one
Yeah, yes,
connected.
exactly.
That's what I meant. But the definition
Yes.
of what I've said, the definition of the individual with time as a concept changes. In
Yes.
that respect, is also
Yes, exactly.
impermanent.
Yes, we can say that, yes, it can be replaced. Like, for instance, just before I
Yes.
gave the definition of an ultimate truth for Sotrantika following reasoning. the phenomenon which is ultimately able to perform function. Yeah, but for, of course, if you arrive with the prasangika, you would say nothing ultimately is able to perform function.
Again, mixing the two schools.
And
Sorry,
even the
apologies.
definition of ultimate, yes, the definition of ultimate truth for Chittamatra and Madhyamaka would be a phenomenon which is directly realized by a direct valid cognition without any dualistic perception, without any dualistic
Right.
appearance.
That's an excellent.
That,
Yeah,
that could
sorry.
be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why we need to be sure, well, which tenet we depend on. Yeah.
Sorry
So
for
here,
coming from
no
apologies.
problem.
Apologies.
That's very interesting because here, if we learn very well the Sotrantika, we just need to change a few things, then we can arrive to the Chittamatra and Madhyamaka. Yeah, for instance, if we learn, for instance, what means a direct perception for the Sotrantika, cognition which is free from conceptualization and non-mistaken, then we understand the debate between the Swatantrika and the Prasangika. Because for the Swatantrika, any direct perception has to see inherent existence. So because it is non-mistaken, then there is inherent existence. That's beautiful. And the Prasangika would say it is mistaken. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Very, very high level philosophy. Wow. Okay. So what did we find? We find, yes, we are still in different from red and non-red. Everybody agrees that different from red. If it is different from red, it's not necessarily not non-red. If it is different from red, it can be red. For instance, the color of a red cloth. The color of a red cloth is red, and it is not one with red. So it exists, and it is not one with red, so it is different from red. Everybody agrees? Sorry for the headache.
No, and you said that non-red could be a like an illustration of non-red could be a non-existence.
Exactly, it could be. Not necessarily, but it could be.
So
Yeah, for
it's
instance,
40.
blue is non-red, but still it exists. Yeah. So yes, if it is non-red, it's not necessarily different from red because it can be a non-existent. Exactly. So 4P, you know,
Mm-hmm.
4 possibilities. Yes, very good. Wow, wow. Okay, so something which is both different from red and non-red, blue. Yeah, or table, or unconfounded space, and so on. Yeah. Okay, something which is different from red, but it is not non-red. So it is different from red, but it is red, dark red, light red, red of the the color red of a cloth, the red color of a table, and so on. They are different from red, and still they are red. Yeah, so they are not non-red. Okay, something which is not red but not different from red, you have no other choice than a non-existent. Yeah, so horned rabbit, because it is not red, it is non-red. Yeah, it is we could say it is the opposite of being red. Yeah, it is the opposite of being red. That's a good answer as well. Yeah, the opposite of being red doesn't need to exist. It can exist or not. The opposite of being red. Yeah. Okay, but the opposite of not being red has to exist because the opposite of not being red is red.
The phenomenon, yeah.
The opposite of not being red, it is not red, so it has to exist. Okay, very good. Yes, please.
Sorry. But
No
red can
problem.
be red
Yeah.
can be both, and that's what we used here. Can be both a perception and a concept. So red
So,
as a
yeah,
color definidium, but also as a perception of this is red as a property, as a you know. So it has those two meanings.
yes, we could say that red is never a perception because a perception is a cognition.
Yeah, but it's an
Yeah,
eye cognition, something that is red,
so
and the other is a
we'll see.
name.
It is
of
an
a-
object of an eye cognition,
Yes,
but not
yes.
the eye cognition itself. Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's the
Yeah.
but yes.
Yes, very good.
Yeah,
It
correct.
can exactly. It is an object of an eye perception,
Mhm,
and it is also an object of a thought consciousness. We can
correct.
think about red, yeah, but still red doesn't change its nature for at all. Yeah, if we think about red or we see red, it is just red.
True, but
itself.
red is also a name of a color.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. So that's why it's a definiendum, and the definiendum, it's not the mere name itself. Yeah, we have to make the distinction. Like for instance, the definition is not a mere sentence in the dictionary, and the definiendum, it's not a mere name. Otherwise, any definiendum would be sound. But if we say color, color is not sound. Color is suitable to be a hue within the perspective of its name, but it is not a mere name. Yeah, that's very important.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's the triply qualified imputed existent. It means we ascertain red when calling it red. Yeah, but the red itself or color itself and so on, they are definiendums. So they are the phenomenon itself through the perspective of its name. Yeah, it's not so easy, yeah, that the question of definition and definiendum. But yes, the definition is the set of characteristics itself. So we can say hot and burning. Hot and burning is fire. Is fire within the perspective of the set of the characteristics. And fire itself is one entity with hot and burning. So it's just hot and burning through the perspective of its name. Yeah, very good. Very good. Fantastic. Okay. So then, so we had something which is not red and not different from red, so non-existent. And now if we check something which is none of them, not different from red and not non-red, what could it be? C'est un moment-là. Sorry?
Red.
Red. Fantastic. Yes. Red. The subject red. It follows it is not non-red.
Except
It is not non-red because?
because it is red.
Yes. Very good. But if we say it follows that the subject red is not non-red because it is red, then we have no difference at all between the subject and the reason.
Okay.
So in this case, we have we have in the danger to have a non-established reason, even if it works technically. Yes, but the subject red is not non-red because
It's one with itself.
it is one with itself. It follows that the subject red is one with itself. It follows that the subject itself is not one with itself. Okay, just playing on words. Sorry.
It has
Yes, because
hues, but you know, yeah.
I think
But
the
that's-
yeah, the subject red is not non-red because
It is suitable to be the hue of red.
yes, it is suitable to be a red hue, or we could say because it is the opposite of not being red. No? Or because it is one with red.
But we had already, sorry, we had already defined from this, you know, different from red and non-red. We had already established that the common base is a dark red or blue table. We had already
Yeah.
established that, and we had
no, not dark red. Dark red is not non-red. Dark
Dark
red was
red.
my counter example. If the defenders is different from red and non-red are equivalent, then I would say, okay, it follows that dark red is non-red because it is different from red. But that was my
okay.
counter example, yeah? It doesn't work, yeah?
Mhm. So we had said that an illustration is, you know, the blue table and it can be like the black cup, you know?
Yes.
And then different from red, an illustration is blue.
Yes.
But blue is non-red also.
Yeah, so it is a common base between different from red and non-red.
Oh yeah, blue. And then different from red would be,
which is not non-red.
well, I'm going to not red is a non-existent.
Yeah, in that case, if we compare
The
different from
illustration of
non-red, Yes.
The illustration of not red could be or is only a non-existent. What is?
In this case, because it is not different from red,
Mhm.
and if it exists, but if it is not different from red, then it has to be one with red.
So it has to be a
That's nice.
non-existent.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And then the illustration of different from red is
Which is
also
not
blue.
Which
It's
is
also
not.
blue, which is not red.
So we cannot choose blue because something which is not different from red, but it is not. Oh, sorry, something which is different from red, but not non-red. That means it is different from red and is red because it is not non-red.
So different. So but if we say red is
So
not
red
different
doesn't
from
work.
red. Red
Exactly.
doesn't
So,
work.
so the
But
color of a red fruit.
the color of the
a
red
fruit is red.
and is different from red.
It is
Oh,
different
okay.
from red.
So the color of the black cup, the black
this-
color of a cup, the black color of a cup is different from red because
But it is not.
is the dark is the black color of the
Yes.
cup. It's not red.
But it
And-
is not red.
But it's not red. Mhm.
It is sorry. It is not red. It is not red.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah, because here, if we check A, not B, we check something which is different from red, but it is not non-red. That it has to be red, and the black color of a cup is not red.
So then in this example, it's a very particular example then, because
Yes.
is there something that is neither?
Yes.
Again, a non-existence?
Dark red.
No.
No? Okay.
Again, a non-existent, because if a non-existence is the illustration of non-red,
Because
different
if
from red could be the blue color.
If we check something which is none of them, so it is not different from red, and it is not non-red.
It's
red.
It's red.
Yeah.
It's red. The
Just red.
illustration. The illustration of something that is neither is red.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my
Fantastic.
God.
Red. Red is not different from red.
It took us a little bit, but we got it.
Yeah, that's the only illustration. Only possible illustration is just red.
Why is red different
Because
from
red
red?
is so then we can ask the it follows that the subject red is not different from red.
Except
It is not different from red because
it is one with red.
it follows that if it is one with red, it's necessarily not different from red.
Except
Very good. And the subject red, it follows it is not non-red.
except
Yes, it is not red because
it is opposite of not being red.
red.
This I
Yes, very good.
this is quite confusing.
Yes. It follows that if it is the opposite of not being red, it's necessarily red.
Okay.
Yes. Or we could say because it is the subject red is not red because it is suitable to be a red hue. Yes, it follows that if it is suitable to be a red hue, it's necessarily not red. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good. The opposite is very nice as well. Very handy kind of answer. The opposite of not being red. Because if we manage with that, then we can slowly manage with the isolates. Yeah. Red is one with red. So red is the opposite of not being one with red. Yeah. Very good. Wow. Incredible. So we had 4P between different from red and non-red. You're sure? Everybody is sure. Imagine we say, oh no, they're equivalent. Oh, you would be amazed.
No, if we say they're equivalent, it would take us another hour to go through this again. So In my notes, we have that is 4p
Yes, they are. They are 4p.
because, but this is my homework to figure out why. I mean, I have in my notes,
Okay.
but I need to know because again, different from red and non-red, the common base is blue table.
Yes.
The non-red, the illustration is non-existence. The different from red, the illustration is blue, and and something that is neither is red.
No,
I-
no, the illustration of different from red, which is not non-red, cannot be blue. Yeah,
That's what I have
different
in
from
my
red,
notes.
different from red, which is not red. It has to be some kind of red, which is not one with red. So dark red,
Dark red.
red
Okay.
color of the cloth, and so on. Blue is
See,
an
I have
illustration of blue is an illustration of different from of A and B, different from red and non-red.
Okay. So I have it in my notes. I just need to do the homework of why this works.
Very good.
I'm
So
like a
next,
parrot, okay? So I can say it, but
me as well. I'm a parrot as well.
No.
Especially
So
when
you're
I
not.
speak to Ariana Garjuna. So then you can be sure of that. Okay, so thank you so much. It was very, very helpful. So even the disagreements are very helpful. Yeah, if everybody agrees on everything, there is no debate. So there is no chance to go further in our reflection. So that's very important to stick with your point. If you disagree, check why you disagree. And if you agree, check why you agree. That's very important to be ready to give an answer, to give some reason, yeah, of your point. That's very important. Okay, and so next time we will try to finish those debates, hopefully. Thank you so much. It was a great pleasure for the sake of all the beings, for the sake of long life and good health of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And may we, as quick as possible, find happiness and all the sentient beings as well. Yeah? Thank you so much. Take care. See you soon. It was a great pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.